The smith who welded fire to water. On the alchemical third. In the great square of a kingdom, in the year of a famine, the king summoned the finest smith in the land and gave him an impossible task. "Smith," said the king, "I have read in a book that there is a third substance, neither fire nor water, which is both. The book says it is born when fire and water are welded together. I am told that this third substance, once made, will end famines and wars and the small unhappinesses of marriage. I require you to make it. You have 40 years. Refuse, and I will have you killed. Succeed, and I will give you the kingdom." The smith was an honest man. He bowed. He went home to his forge. He had been a smith for 30 years. He had welded iron to iron, gold to gold, silver to bronze. He had welded difficult metals to difficult metals. He had welded copper to lead in a way that no one in the next 3 provinces could replicate. He had not, however, welded fire to water. He had not heard of anyone welding fire to water. He suspected the book was wrong, but he had been told. He began the work. In the first year, he tried to weld fire to water directly. He brought a great forge fire. He brought a great bucket of water. He poured the water on the fire. The fire went out. He poured fire on the water. The water boiled away. He tried for a year in 100 variations to bring the two together. They would not weld. They could not weld. They would not even stay in the same room as one another for more than a moment. In the second year, he tried to find a third substance that would hold the two. He tried clay. He tried oil. He tried sand. He tried all the substances his 30 years had taught him to use. None of them worked. The third substance, if it existed, did not exist in any forge he knew. In the third year, he sent for books. He read every book on alchemy in the kingdom. He read the books of the next kingdom. He read the books of the kingdom after that. He learned a great deal about alchemy and nothing about welding fire to water. In the fourth year, he stopped reading and began to fail in new ways. He failed each year more thoroughly than the year before. He failed with patience. He failed with rage. He failed with despair. He failed with the calm of a man who has accepted that he will be killed by the king in 36 years. In the 30th year, he stopped trying to weld them. He did not stop because he had run out of ideas. He stopped because he had very gradually, over the years, noticed something. He had noticed that when he placed the fire on one side of a small clay vessel and the water on the other side of the same vessel, but neither of them touching, a third thing rose between them. It rose into the air above the vessel. It was not fire, it was not water, it was a fine white steam. The steam was, he thought, the third substance the king had asked for. It was not, however, made by welding. It was made by holding the two together in the same vessel without their touching. He spent the 31st year understanding this. He spent the 32nd year refining it. By the 33rd year, he had built a vessel that, when fire was set beneath it and water within it, produced a constant fine white steam. He took the steam to the king. "This is not welding," said the king, suspicious. "No," said the smith. "The book was wrong. The third substance is not made by welding. The third substance is made by holding them in the same vessel without their touching. The welding is impossible. The holding is not." The king wanted to have him killed for the technicality. But the steam was, on inspection, remarkable. It moved a small paddle. It pushed against the king's hand with a soft, warm pressure. The king, who was practical, set the matter of welding aside and asked what the steam could be used for. In the 34th year, the smith built the first wheel that the steam could turn. In the 35th year, the wheel ground a mill. In the 36th year, the mill made flour faster than 10 men could. By the 40th year, when the smith was an old man and the king was an older one, the kingdom had 100 such mills, the famines had ended, the bread was cheap, and the small unhappinesses of marriage had not exactly ended, but had become, in many households, slightly more tolerable, because at least there was bread. The smith was given the kingdom, as had been promised. He gave it back. He did not want a kingdom. He wanted only to keep working in his forge, which the king allowed him to do. The smith lived another 10 years. He never welded fire to water. He never did the impossible thing. He had only, by stopping, understood that the impossible thing had been the wrong description of the work. The work had not been welding, the work had been holding. The third thing was the gift of holding, not the prize of welding. He had, in some sense, fed his kingdom by failing for 30 years. The third substance is not made by welding. The opposites cannot be welded. They will not touch. The third substance is made by holding them in the same vessel without their touching. The holding produces the steam turns the wheel grinds the corn feeds the kingdom. The work is the holding, the welding is impossible. The book was wrong.